If you want to get the most out of any pursuit, you have to pay attention to the details. Doesn't matter if we're talking about fitness, finance, business, or relationships, the devil's in the details, and the details expose our flaws. The good thing about our flaws being exposed is the ability to grow and get stronger mentally and physically. I work as a personal trainer, and I work with all different types of personalities. Some people push through the pain, some people give up at the slightest burn. Some people overestimate their abilities, and some people vastly underestimate what they're capable of. One thing I have noticed is that there are very few people that put the details over their ego. In the case of working out, the details are form, tempo, range of motion. This means that the ego is going to be a direct obstacle to us achieving our goals when it comes down to body aesthetics and performance goals. The more detailed and controlled our movements, the more detailed our bodies will be physique-wise. The more detailed and controlled the movement, our body's gonna be more stable and much stronger. I was recently working with a client of mine on a lat pull-down machine, and I set the weight to a moderate level for his strength. A few reps into lat pull-downs, he stopped and then put the weight up 40 more pounds. After he moved the weight up, I let him complete his set. He was swinging, he was jerking, he was using momentum to lift the weight. And then afterwards, I explained the difference between moving weight and controlling the weight. When we simply move weight, our muscles are not in constant contraction the way that they would be if we're controlling the weight or controlling our body. Controlling the movement allows us to build that mind-muscle connection. We can literally feel which part of the body is working throughout each portion of the movement. A prime example of this is on the negative portion of the movement, the lowering phase. When we lower slow and controlled, our muscle fibers are firing on all cylinders. We can feel our muscles working and be mindful of our body. When we lower fast, we're essentially just letting our body or the weights drop with little to no engagement. This is what you call leaving gains on the table. When we lower the weight or drop our body fast on the negative portion of the movement, we're relying almost solely on stretch reflex to get our body to bounce back up, to get the weight to bounce back up on the positive portion of the movement. You can see this in a movement like the muscle up. When most people do muscle ups, it's a momentum-based movement that relies on timing that stretch reflex to generate power to get over the bar. Generating power is not a bad thing, especially when it comes down to calisthenics. Explosiveness is optimal when it comes to the positive portion of a movement. But the way that we build raw power is through a slow negative and explosive positive. Another strategy that we can use is working our way up in our sets. Instead of starting out as heavy as possible or doing the most difficult progression as possible, just the way my client tried to do, we can use pyramid sets. That's when we start off at a lower weight or even at body weight, and we can work our way up to a top set. After that top set, we can work our way back down to get more quality sets as we finish whatever exercise we're doing. I use this technique not only for myself, but for my clients who've gotten to the intermediate level. One thing that you'll notice as you're doing these pyramid sets is that as you go heavier each set, it's harder to control the details of the movement. And our mind can switch from detail-oriented to survival mode. And what I mean by survival mode is that we're just pushing or pulling the weight by any means necessary. Now, going heavy to the point where our form might be compromised slightly isn't always a bad thing, because this can expose flaws in our form like hip shifts or overcompensating to one side or the other. Sometimes it's due to past injuries or it's just due to muscle imbalance. This is also a reason why I'm a big advocate of filming ourselves as we train so we can go back and watch the game tape. When it comes down to muscle imbalances, unilateral training can be our best friend. I'll make another video soon about the importance of unilateral training and making sure that your body is balanced. Now, when it comes down to being detail-oriented, the same laws that dictate the physical world dictate the mental world. So you can apply all of these lessons from training to life outside of fitness. It's important to pay attention to the details in our finances, business, relationships, romantic or platonic, no matter if it makes us feel good or if it makes us feel bad. Self-reflection really is the key to progressing and growing in life. We pay attention to what we're doing and how we're doing it, the better we get at whatever we're doing. Now, as an experiment, I'd like everyone who's made it this far in the video to tell me how many pull-ups they can do unbroken. Let me know your thoughts about training with details in the comment section and if I missed anything. Again, I'm also curious about how many clean pull-ups you guys can do. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holla at you guys later. Peace.